What's happening, everybody? Welcome back to the TB Toycast YouTube channel, and today we are unboxing from the Mattel Elite Legends line. It is actually the greatest hits line, a Target exclusive line as it were. It is the one and only Tugboat. Man, this guy screams 1991, does he not? Oh man, Tugboat was absolutely a fan favorite for most everybody back in the day. Of course, Fred Ottman portrayed Tugboat, and has had quite a few elites. There's been at least 2 Tugboat elites. Now this, of course, is a re-release from his original, but we've also seen several Typhoon figures and the Shockmaster. I would love to see the Shockmaster return in the line. I believe he was like an SDCC exclusive maybe back in the day, so a little bit harder to come by. I would love to see that return. Of course, I do have a Typhoon figure unboxed, so I think I have an Earthquake I need to unbox, though, that I got in a previous Greatest Hits line, so definitely cool to get. But like I said, I love the Mattel Elite Legends. We're coming off the heels of San Diego Comic-Con. A lot of new Legends announcements, as we know. Guys like Kona Crush are coming. El Matador, Tito Santana. All 3 members of Demolition. Mr. Fuji, that's a big one. With the Demolition paint, that's really cool. Geez, I mean, so many others. King Kong Bundy will be in the Coliseum collection. Jesse the Body Ventura, we're definitely getting mini versions of him. Plus the return of LJN. So much happening in the Mattel lines, it's going to be a lot of fun. But we do know another Greatest Hits Legends line is coming with guys like Brutus the Barber Beefcake, the Red Rooster. I believe the Red Rooster was a Target exclusive back in the day, which is actually relatively expensive now. Kind of fell in that category of like, I don't know if I need that, but regret not getting it now, but it's cool it's getting re-released, so that'll be definitely one I hope to pick up. I do know this Greatest Hits line was not the easiest to find. We had, I believe it was 5 figures in the wave. Of course, we got here Tugboat World Tag Team Champion, which is kind of, I don't know if that's totally true on there, because he was with Earthquake, but not as Tugboat, but, you know, what are you going to do? Toot Toot, when Hulk Hogan needed some backup against the enormous Earthquake, the biggest Hulkamaniac of them all, the massive Tugboat came to his rescue. The powerhouse as strong as the floating mass of steel, that is his namesake. Tugboat was ready to kick up the engines inside of the ring. I believe his initial name was Tugboat Thomas, and then they just shortened it down to Tugboat. But yeah, everybody loved Tugboat back in the day. He was, I believe, supposed to have an original Hasbro, which never happened. I do have a custom Hasbro from the one and only Jason Wolf that I'll put up right here. And there was also a Mattel Retro that they did of Tugboat, which is pretty cool. But as you can see, this Greatest Hits Legends line was pretty awesome. I have unboxed Erwin R. Shyster, the Taxman himself, IRS. Of course, the Ultimate Warrior, which is kind of an 80s version of Ultimate Warrior. King Booker, never saw that one. So it was a little bit harder to come by. It wasn't one that I necessarily felt I needed, but it would have been nice to have. The Warlord was a must-buy for me. I did pick up the Warlord, and then, of course, Tugboat and IRS, as I mentioned already. So definitely a cool way to get some of these figures or some of these guys back in the Elite line, which is really, really fun. Getting the Warlord back, I believe it was, 2 or 3 years ago, we got a Warlord Elite from his Powers of Pain look. But Barbarian, as far as I can tell, is not under a deal, so I'd like to see that get rectified at some point. One guy that I was almost positive was under a Legends deal, but hasn't been announced, was Haku. And I would have loved to have seen a Haku and Barbarian 2-pack, or, you know, Faces of Fear from WCW, something along those lines, but nothing has been announced yet. I kind of thought an Islanders might be happening because, you know, Haku, of course, the son, or the father of Tama Tonga and Tonga Loa, who he recently got. And then Jacob Fatu's father, Sam Fatu, a.k.a. the Tonga Kid, a.k.a. Tama, they were partners as the Islanders. So I was hoping to see him as well under a Legends deal. I believe they were both in the WWE 2K25 game, but I guess, you know, again, I don't know contracts. I don't know any of that stuff. I guess, technically speaking, those are not the same contracts. But my thought is, like, if you got a contract for one, I don't understand why you couldn't get both. Like, they're willing to do it, and I can't imagine any of these guys are wanting to turn down money. Like, who wouldn't want an action figure? And the reason I say that, more than just from a collector's perspective, is that's good for the guys. Like, guys like, you know, Haku, like Honky Tonk Man, like some of these guys, Warlord. This makes them money because you can take, or Tugboat, for instance, if Tugboat has an appearance at WrestleCon, you can take this figure and go get it signed, right? And so that ultimately is good for him. So why we don't get that, I don't know. We actually got a second head there, which I did not see in the packaging. So that's kind of cool. Pop that out here. Tugboat looks good. Got a couple extra hands. We've got, I believe the hat is removable. He's definitely got the Tugboat face, as it were. The Toot Toot face. Like I said, this was probably not considered... Oh, twist ties. The worst. This was probably not his, like, finest hour as far as a character, because it's not really one of those characters that you feel like is going to be... Ooh, I'm hitting my camera. It's going to be, like, main eventing anything. But I guess there was actually plans, according to Bruce Pritchard on his old podcast, Something to Wrestle With. He mentioned that there was talk of turning Tugboat heel and having him join, like, Sergeant Slaughter and be like Sheik Tugboat. So could you imagine Sheik Tugboat at WrestleMania 7 or down the road somewhere? I guess it's possible, but he's got that Toot Toot hand. Very cool. We got the second head here. A little bit more serious face, but I much prefer this one, but that's cool to get one. This one actually looks a little bit more like Typhoon to me. So I'm going to put it off to the side. I don't feel like I need that one necessarily. And I do like an extra head, but I don't always feel like it's necessary to have. I don't know if this goes on. I think that looks right to me. But yeah, Tugboat's in his signature shirt, his pants, pin joints on the pants, which is a little bit ugly looking, but not bad. But again, there's not a lot you can do here. And there's not a lot of variations you can do with this, right? It's like that was his look. I mean, he wore the striped shirt, the white pants, and he had the sailor hat. And that was all Tugboat had. So there's not a lot of variation you can do with this, but it is definitely cool to get in the line. I remember when they released this, I want to say it was 2016 or 2017, and that within 12 months, one calendar year, we got a Tugboat, a Typhoon, and that Shockmaster. And I remember thinking, like, that might be a record for one individual to get three completely different characters in the Elite line. Because there's guys like the Godfather that probably could have done it with, you know, his multiple characters, or Mick Foley, but I don't think they all got him that quickly. So, definitely wild to think that he had three completely different characters all appear in the Elite line within 1 year. So, definitely a testament to him. We've definitely gotten Typhoon a couple of times. And like I said, I would love to get a Shockmaster. In fact, there was also a short-lived version of the Shockmaster. Most of us remember the glittery Stormtrooper helmet, I think, is the main version of the Shockmaster. But there was also like a construction worker Shockmaster. And that's kind of more what he appeared on on TV after that initial, like, run where he, fell through the wall and stuff. But so that would be kind of cool to see something like that. I think he had a mustache, and he wore like a denim cutoff shirt and like a hard hat. So, and of course, you could reuse that hard hat and make real man's man Steve Regal. So, I mean, the possibilities are endless. But give me the deep cuts. I love the deep cuts. I know we obviously have Demolition under a deal now. I would love to see Repo Man show up in the line, which I think he will. It might take a little bit, but I would like to see Repo Man in the Legends line. He feels like a layup down the road. Obviously, we're getting Kona Crush. I think everyone would love Evil Crush. I would even like to see Jailbird Crush down the road. That would be kind of fun. But Mattel listens, man. They obviously know. They have their finger on the pulse. They're hitting on all cylinders, in my opinion. That new LJN line looks amazing. They're still doing retro, still doing Superstars, the Elites, the Ultimates. Everything is kind of clicking on all cylinders. And I feel like at SDCC this year, Mattel was like, hey, don't worry about giving your money to any of those other companies. Give it all to us. We'll take it all. And they made a pretty big gesture to definitely do that. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, because a lot of these other third-party companies will definitely have their work cut out for them, because Mattel is absolutely killing it right now. So much cool stuff happening. But what do you guys think about Tugboat or the Legends line from Target? I think it's one of my favorite lines personally. I know on the shelves right now we've got Smoking Guns Billy Gunn, a retirement version of Great Muta. We got Try Me, I'll Make You Famous, The Undertaker, and then, of course, Terry Funk from about 89, all on the pegs right now. All look really good. I do have Muda, I do have Billy Gunn. I want to get another Billy Gunn so I can make a custom Bart gun, and I need to pick up that Terry Funk and that Undertaker as well. But the Legends line is definitely one of my favorites. I'm sure this next wave of greatest hits will be hitting again before too long. A lot of those I want to pick up as well. But what do you guys think about Tugboat? Is he a pass for you? Something you're going to pick up, something you did pick up, or something you feel like, I don't really need that? I have a soft spot for the early 90s, so any of those characters are pretty much a lock for me. So Tugboat, Warlord, IRS were all like, I absolutely have to get these guys. So, but let me know what you think. Also, check out my other unboxing videos just this week. On Monday, I unboxed from Playmates Toys the new Automorphing Green Ranger. A little bit of a controversial figure. Some like it, some don't. but you be the judge yourself. I actually dug it, so check that out from earlier this week. And last week, I unboxed from Jazzwares in the AEW Unmatched line Wheeler Yuta, which was a really fun one. I believe one of his first few figures. I think he had one more, but definitely his first wrestling figure is from Jazzwares. And then from Toy Biz, kind of a throwback, a Marvel Legends Series 1 Captain America, which was actually kind of a surprisingly fun figure, so check that out as well. And then a very recent figure from the Heels and Faces Zombie Sailor Toys line, the CM Punk Retro with Larry. I unboxed those all this week. Also, check out What's on the Pegs every Saturday, sometimes on Sunday if I don't get it quite uploaded in time, and see what I'm literally finding out there on my toy hunts. Check that out. It's a weekly show. It's a lot of fun, and I try to do my toy hunts different than everybody else, so hopefully you guys dig that. And then, of course, check out Tales of the Toy Box. I drop a new episode once a month. I've done 3 episodes already on G.I. Joe Street Fighter, kind of a comprehensive deep dive look at this line, WWF Hasbro Series 1, and then now, most recently, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles from Playmates Series 1. And then I've already announced that Episode 4 will be all about Toy Biz X-Men Series 1. So really excited to dive into that, so check those out as well. Lots of fun there. And let me know what you're digging, what you want to see more of my unboxing videos. I got DC Multiverse, Grapplers and Gimmicks, Big Rubber Guys, The Simpsons, Spawn, more Mattel Elite, Transformers, G.I. Joe Classified, starting lineup, more Marvel Legends, Heels and Faces, Total Justice, Star Wars Black, and of course Operation Monster Force, all coming up very soon. So it's just a matter of getting them out there and getting them done. But I do appreciate all of you guys checking out my videos. If you want to help support this channel, the best way you can do it is share a video, like a video, let a couple of people know on whether it's Facebook, Instagram, the X, whatever, or maybe some unfangled social media platform that I'm not even aware of, because that changes all the time and I'm almost 40 years old. So TikTok might be a good one to throw it out there and let people know that you like this. But hopefully more people check it out and the channel will continue to grow. But I'm having a lot of fun doing it, and I appreciate all you guys checking it out. But thank you guys for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel. Make sure to check out the TB Toycast podcast every Thursday with a new episode. This week will be a long one, as you'll see, almost 3 hours, but a lot of San Diego Comic-Con coverage to dive into, as well as LJN Series 4, which is very timely considering what we got announced to us. So yeah, it'll be a fun one. Hopefully not too long. We don't do that often, but every now and then it's definitely warranted. So check that out tomorrow, as if you're listening to this or watching this on Wednesday. But thank you guys very much for checking out the TB Toycast YouTube channel. That's Tugboat, Toot Toot, and we will see you in the toy aisle.
Yeah. One more time. It ain't over till I say it's over. So lock the cage up, cause this is a takeover. The wait's over. If this the final time we meet, then you'll be on your back on my feet. Then I'll tip the cage over as a hangover. I'm super fly so I can splash off the top. And I can shut down the shot.